couple years, so we're just going to go over some different stuff with acolyting. And thank you for sitting on the correct side, even though that wasn't. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be so good at this. Okay, so does anybody know what an acolyte is? Cody, what's an acolyte? Okay, they light the candles. Do you want to add to that at all? Anything else? They just light candles? They what? They also put the candles out. And they walk. Cody, awesome. Oh, you didn't raise your hand, Tanner, so I can't call on you. Yeah, Lauren? They wear robes. Sometimes. Sometimes. Tanner, what else do you want to add? They bring the cross. Anything else? Jazzy. Ooh, maybe at a contemporary service, they don't wear robes.
There are the people who like the candles.
Candles. We love candles. Rich, you got something else for us?
Yeah. The meaning of an acolyte is a devoted follower and servant.
Yeah. All things correct. Maybe, gosh. So it's a person assisting in the celebrant in a religious service or procession. So it's like we're all saying, you do the candles, you do the cross, maybe you help with other aspects. So we're just going to talk about it, and then we can maybe practice. And Pastor Paul is here, so he's going to share some stuff too, because typically the pastor has a say in how the church service goes. So Pastor Paul will have a say on how it goes, and then in a couple months, if we get a new hopefully we get a new pastor. Hopefully that would be the goal. Then that new pastor would have new information for us. So maybe they would have, just the order of things would be different, but we would talk about that. So. This is really chill. Isaac, are you up there? Can you go to the next slide? I just don't want to deal with this. Okay, so there are two big acolyting roles here at Ezekiel. The first is the cross bearer, right? Someone said you carry up the cross. You process or you walk in the cross. You also walk it out of the church. And then we have the torch bearer. And that carries in the candlesticks and lights the candles. Mary, would you grab the candlestick because I forgot it? Do you have a key? It is, yeah. Sorry. Okay, so a couple of things with the cross. Obviously, it's maybe not obviously. This is the cross that we'll process in. So, it's really fancy. It just comes out like that, and that's that. But when you carry the cross, there's a couple of things. Pastor Paul and I were talking about this earlier today. There is a right and there is a wrong way to carry the cross, okay? And this is just like tradition and everything. So obviously, am I going to carry the cross in like this? No. No, I'm not going to carry it in one-handed. I'm going to carry it like this. And it's going to hurt a little bit, but it's like, again, this is like really, and I think Pastor Paul, is this other at the right height? Do you have any? I don't really know the height, actually. I mean, I'm not going to carry it down like this, right? Because that would be awkward. But kind of here. And you just walk it up the sanctuary aisle, okay? Generally, that's how it goes. And then this is, I got my candlestick. Sure, Mary, go crazy. These are cool because they used to be old school and they had like a wick in them. So that's what this knob was for, is you'd like push up the wick, but they're not like that anymore. So in here is some oil and then the wick. So once it lights, it goes up and it's a little flame. So, and typically you'll see if there's not a wick because it pokes out, and I can walk around with it. But these are the two things that you'll be using during acolyting typically. Elliot. Yes. Yeah.
Can I show one more thing on the cross?
Oh, absolutely, Pastor Paul. You're the professional with this one, so.
Well, I know some of you, but not many. Nice to see you guys. I'm your pastor for a little bit longer. All right. As Allison said, yeah, there's a right way and a wrong way. And it is like this. You use your left hand at the top. But the key thing is that you spread your hands apart. Because if you do it too much like this, it has happened that the crucifer, that's the name of the one who carries the cross, the crucifer is walking down the center aisle, have it injured.
I don't want that.
This is a weapon, the way it is. So all I'm saying is, get your hands apart like this, and your knuckles on your left hand should be at your nose. Knuckles, nose. Okay? Remember that? Okay. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Pastor Paul.
That's important.
Yes. Cool. So these are the two big things that you'll be using during that. Do you want to hold this really quick? And then when you're carrying the torch or candlestick, Pastor Paul, do you want it upright, or do you care if it's typically upright?
Straight up.
Straight up, just like this. So the same kind of deal, probably. Not just like
And
this.
that's how much that wax drips down on your hair.
Right.
There. About
You
that.
don't want that. You don't want waxy hair. Unless you do, that's kind of a fun trend. No? No, not a trend. Just kidding. So yeah, these are the two big elements of what we'll be doing. Isaac, you can go to the next slide? Actually. Yeah, you hold it. Awesome, Mickey. Cool. So before worship, we'll kind of go through what a typical Sunday would look like or I guess also a Wednesday, talking about like Advent or Lent, what that will look like. So before worship, you should always arrive about 15 minutes before the worship starts, okay? So at the 8:30 service, what time should you probably be here? 8:15, because that's 15 minutes before. And at the 10:45 service, you should probably be here at what time? Like 10:30. Tanner, you are stressing me out, my man. And that's just to make sure that you have the needed materials, right? To make sure that you are wearing the thing that you need to be wearing, and to ask any questions, right? Because if all of a sudden there's like a baptism one Sunday, you might have to help with that. Pastor Paul might, or whoever the pastor is, might just kind of pull you in. So you want to make sure that you're ready for that as well, okay? When you come to church, right, the first thing I would do, and I have a printed copy of this in the sacristy, and we'll go through the sacristy in a minute here. But you want to make sure you have a bulletin. Where are the bulletins typically on Sundays? Awesome, right back there. So you want to make sure you have a bulletin, maybe a worship note if you have not met your requirement of worship notes yet, which nobody, except for maybe a couple ninth graders, has yet. So maybe you want to grab a worship note, make sure you have a pencil, and you can set those up here in the front pew. I think this is different than how it's been in the past, but Pastor Paul and I were talking, and when you are the acolyte, you will sit in the front row with Pastor Paul. Okay? You'll participate in the worship and everything like that. So you'll be up in the front so that people in the congregation can see you. Okay? In the sacristy, there will be a whiteboard. There is a whiteboard. And there's a spot with the schedule of who is acolyting each day and for what service, and then also any like announcements. So again, if there's a baptism one day, I'll write baptism at 10:45 service. Or when we go in, you'll see I wrote an announcement for this next week, actually. There are a couple of differences between the 8:30 and the 10:45 service. At the 8:30 service, you will wear a robe, similar to like what Pastor Paul wears. And Jeannie will kind of show you as well in the sacristy. There are certain sizes of robes. So if you are 5'1", don't get one that like goes to the ground or drags. Tanner, you're really tall, so maybe pick a really tall one, to each their, you know that. But you want to make sure that it's on your body the right way, and that there's like a rope and everything, and Pastor Paul will show us how to tie the rope as well.
Do we have our things here?
Okay. Groovy. At the 8:30 service, we'll have both a torchbearer, so someone who carries the candlestick, and then a cross-bearer, so there'll be 2 acolytes for every service, in theory. So that'll be the 2 things. And you just want to make sure that you know where they are before the service starts, because you don't want to be there at 8:30 all of a sudden like, OMG, I don't know where. I know, Elliot, this is really scary. OMG, I don't know where the cross is, and I'm supposed to walk it in 3 minutes, and so yeah, okay? At the 10:45 service, raise your hand if you typically come to the 10:45 service. If you come to a church service, do you come to the 10:45 one? Yeah. If you typically come to the 10:45 service, this is good news for you if you're maybe into this. You don't have to wear a robe. So if you like robes, maybe come to the 8:30. If you don't like robes, maybe come to the 10:45. And then at the 10:45, we also do not walk in the cross. So there'll be 2 people who light candles, basically. So if you're like, OMG, I hate the way that Pastor Paul decided to carry that, maybe sign up for a 10:45 service. But if you like that, maybe do the 8:30 service. There are kind of options there, okay? So these are all things to know the day of worship in that 15 minutes, things that you are getting together. Isaac, next slide. During the worship, what's going to happen is, Mickey, can I snag this? Okay, I need you to follow me with your eyes really quick. I know this is hard. Follow me with your eyes really quick. Okay, so when you are here for the service, Pastor Paul or whoever the pastor is typically walks in, right? During the opening hymn, okay? So if we are thinking about the opening hymn, it is typically after announcements. You'll be back here for announcements. You'll be chilling in the back. After announcements, we always have an opening hymn, whatever that song is. You will then, carrying the candlestick or the cross, you'll walk in. This is so exciting. You walk in. And should I walk into the baptismal font? Absolutely not. Pick a better way around, right? You'll come on up. You'll pause. We pause at the, in front of the cross, in front of the altar to show respect to God. And then, because this will be lit, you'll go on up. Lighty light. Lighty light. Come back down around over here. Oh, just kidding, don't listen to Allison. Go on over here. And we just stick it in this little slot, and that's where it lives until the end of the service. And then the same with the cross. It goes up here, you walk it up, same kind of deal. Pause here, and then you go stick it up there, and then you go to your seat. Dominic, what's up? What's up? Ooh, this candle is only lit for special occasions. So that would be an announcement, like we'll say that we're lighting the celebration candle. What's it? Oh my gosh. Yes.
So this parent asked a question. Or do the acolytes bow when they go up?
Ooh.
What? I think it's kind of neat when the 2 of you get up here. You just very little. It's really a sign of reverence toward God. Okay? Okay? You don't have to go like this. Just a little bit. Okay?
Cool. Pastor Paul.
Thank you.
Yeah. Lauren, you have a question quick?
So when you light those candles, and you put it over there, wouldn't the candlestick still have a flame on it?
Ooh, yes. Actually,
If it still has a flame on it?
yeah.
Yeah, if you put it over there, still put the flame on?
Okay.
It'll just go out in about 5 seconds.
All right. You just blow it out. Easy peasy.
A lot of air so it doesn't leave smoke.
Ooh. Tricks of the trade. Awesome. Pastor Paul, do you want to show us really quick? Okay.
This is called a cincture. Okay? It's not a roll. It's a cincture. So that C-I-N-C-T-U-R-E. So you just take it. You just get it double up. Get it even. Just begin your back. Bring this over. And bring the loop over the top.
Oh, sorry, you're good.
Okay? Bring the loop over the top. Bring it back up. And pull in through it. Like that. And then you just, if you need to get it tighter, just pull it up and tighten it. But that's how you do it. Okay? Any questions? Everybody got it?
And we can maybe practice as well. Cool.
Well, there's 2 of you, or 3 of you, one more. So he's going to show you how to do that.
Cool. And kind of going the last thing here during the starting service, you will be in the front, so you want to make sure that you're participating, right? You don't have to sing every single song if that's not your thing, but you still should be up here. If you need to use a hymnal, use a hymnal. If you're looking at the screen, look at the screen. Follow along in the bulletin, do the prayers, that kind of stuff, okay? Okay, during the offering, do we know, really quick, what is the offering? Do we know what the offering is, Dominic? Yeah, right, they pass on the offering plates, right? That's when folks put in money, checks, whatever the thing is, for the church. Thank you so much for listening. We're almost done, I promise. The ushers will collect the offering plates, they'll pass them around, and then at the very end, okay, you and the other acolyte, you wanna help me, Jazzy? Jazzy's gonna be a volunteer. Jazzy and I are the acolytes this Sunday. Once the ushers have collected the offering plates, oh my gosh, Jeannie, perfect. Ushers are bringing up the offering plates. Jazzy, this is so exciting. We take the offering plates, we turn and we walk it up to here. We pause again, and then we put it up. Right there. Easy peasy. So that's something that you'll have to do for offering. I think this is, you're good, you can sit down. And then Jazzy goes back to her front row seat, because that's where she's sitting with the pastor, okay? Some other things, after the Lord's Prayer, okay? After the Lord's Prayer, we go straight into communion. You will be sitting here. Can anybody point, where is communion, where are like all the communion things set on Sundays typically? Yeah, they're set on this little table. So you will go up and you will receive communion with Pastor Paul, with the people that are like leading communion that week. So you'll go up, you'll receive communion right away, and then this is new and exciting. This is different. I know, get excited. Typically when we do communion, Audra's so pumped. There are baskets here where people will stick the cups when they're done. You will grab the basket. And then you'll come up here at the very end of the line. So when they are done, when people are done going through the line, they'll stick their cup in your thing, and then you're good. Once everyone's gone through, you can set it back over yonder, go back to your seat. Easy peasy. You don't have to talk, you don't have to do a whole lot, you're just holding a basket. It looks so good. The wafers look so good. Jazzy, I love that energy. Keep it up. Last thing, at the very end of the service, right? And this is where, Julie, I'm gonna have to take this, I'm sorry. At the very end of the service, during the closing hymn, okay? The last hymn, if you are acolyting, it's your responsibility to then come up and you will extinguish the candles, and you will, if you're the cross bearer, you'll grab the cross, okay? So, again, you're sitting in the front, you come on up, maybe you bow. If you're the cross bearer, you come on over here, just like you did before. So exciting, I know. You'll wait for the other acolyte, and then you'll walk on out. Not running, walking. Yes. Yes, Jeannie's doing it, yeah. If you are I know this, I'm sorry, we're almost done, I promise. Yes. If there's only 2 verses, that would be where you have to kind of think on your feet a little. If you're like looking all of a sudden, you're like, OMG, there's only 2 verses? Or if Pastor Paul announces we're only singing 2 verses, just right away, you could probably go. Nikki, were you gonna add something? Oh yeah, what's up? Correct. It will be up here, yeah.
So will second service acolytes leave it, or first service acolytes leave it good for second service since they're not running it?
That's a great question. I would say yes. Yeah, so if you're the person who, and I think this is on the next slide, if you're doing you're fine. If you're the cross bearer at the first service, once you're done and everyone's kind of clearing out of the sanctuary, you can put this back up front and you don't have to carry it, you know, you can just carry it normal, so. Yeah, so Jeannie's gonna show you.
You're going to be extinguishing the candle. Be sure to light it first before you extinguish. Light that side, and then flip it around to extinguish. The trick is take the air away. So then you have your lid, and you'll come down here right behind the cross barrier by the baptism line. And then once you go all the way to the back and over, cross barrel, cross back, if you have the snuffer, he goes back into the sacristy where you got it before service. We always put them back where we got them, so somebody, the next person knows where to find them. Okay?
Awesome.
Light first, then put it out. Because that's, once you put it out, you can't light it. Yeah.
Cool.
I just have one question. Why do we light the candle for worship? Anybody know? Why do we light the candle when we have worship in the church? Can we just do it on candles? Yes.
The Holy Spirit has something to do with fire.
Exactly. Pentecostal day, we celebrate the coming of the Holy Spirit, Christ raised in heaven, but we sent the Holy Spirit with us, and the Spirit came with the tongues of fire. This is the symbol of Pentecost, okay?
Cool.
Okay? And the fire, the light candle is the symbol Christ is with us in our worship. We're not alone. We're worshiping Him, okay? Keep that in mind. That's part of why it's so important to have light and have acolytes do the light. Okay?
Cool. Isaac, can you see if there's one more slide? I think there is. Oh, questions. Oh, just kidding. All right, Isaac, one more slide, I think. Okay, this is for me as well because I messed this up last week. From 6:30 to 6:55, 7th and 8th graders, you will stay in here, and we'll do a large group stuff, and I'm going to lead that. 9th graders, you'll be going to your small group classrooms, and maybe if you would like to peek into the sacristy before, or if you want to do it after, that's totally up to you. Jeannie will be in there. And then we will switch. So at 6:55 to 7:20, small group leaders for 7th grade, you'll be in classrooms, and then 9th grade will be back in here until 7:20. And then we'll come back all together at 7:20, and we'll go over just announcements and stuff at the end, okay? Any questions? Also, I'm giving your small group leaders just like a printout of everything that I said. There's a copy of this in the sacristy. And the sacristy is just like where, because I know maybe that's a word that we're not familiar with. The sacristy is just a place where, Jeannie, do you know to tell us what the sacristy is? No. It's Jeannie's spot. That's where we keep things for the altar. That's where like communion things are kept. The fancy colors and stuff that you see. All of that is kept there. So yeah. Izzy, what's your question? Okay, so that's new this year. 6th graders are not a part of confirmation this year. Yeah. It wasn't my decision, bro. I don't know what you want. 6th graders are not with us. They have their own new thing called the 56 Club. It's the most elite club at Ezekiel Lutheran Church. It's radical. 56 Club? You guys don't know what 56... Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you guys. I will say that the teal turtle doves. Oh, I should go to the next slide so you know what groups you're in again, because I know that some people forget. Okay, teal turtle doves, room 200. Make sure to take all your things with you. Teal turtle doves, room 200. You're good to go. I will see you at 6:55. Smell you later. Fuchsia Falcons, you are in room 100. You may also skedaddle. If you are a 7th or 8th grader, please come to the first 3 rows. You already did it, but yeah. Wow. First 3 rows. You wish your name Rich? Instead of Jazzy. Jazz is kind of fun though, because it's like jazz music, you know? Jazz? Come on, Jazzy, don't do this to me. Don't break my heart. I'm gonna make a note before I forget. Guys, I said the first 3 rows. Oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. All right. Here's what I need. I love that chair. It's so great. You wanna help me with it? Yeah. Awesome. Alex, you wanna help me too? I need the table and the chairs to come here. Absolutely. Do you get a color? There is a table and chairs. Could you remember this too? Oh my gosh. Max Egan, I took it. Right here. Alex, love it. Guys, this is intense. Can I have 2 other volunteers who are cool with reading in front of people? Ooh, I'll have Cody and Emma. No. All right, so while they look over some stuff really quick, while they look this over, I want to go over with you. Oh no, I don't want to go over it with you. LOL, JK. Our friends here are going to put on a skit for us. The general plan for this evening. Maybe. Am I like not pointing the right way? All right. Oh my gosh, I had a game here. Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. Okay, while we're looking this over, we have a game called Name That Confirmand. You all did this sheet last week, okay? I have some facts about our friend here. This person's age is 45 years young. Their birthday is September 28th. Their dream job is a surgeon. Their favorite color is orange. Their favorite snack is ice cream. And their fictional character bestie is Harry Potter.
I know who that is.
I'll have you raise your hand if you think you know who this is. Madeline. Is it Becca? Raise your hand if you think it's Becca. Oh, this is so... Becca also thinks you're voting as well, Becca. Why is the Oh, it is Becca Bell. How exciting. Next, Isaac. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Are you okay with it? Well, it's supposed to be. Hey, Isaac, are you up there? Hey, the computer needs to be on the ledge. Yep, that's why it's not working. Cool. Name that compliment. They are 13. Their birthday is May 12th. Their dream job is to be a professional gamer. Their favorite color is sky blue. Don't be that person. Favorite snack is gummy bears, and their fictional bestie. They listed many names, but I just put down Mr. Krabs. Raise your hand if you think you know who it is. Shh. You think it's Alex? Raise your hand if you think it's Alex. Dominic, it's you. Hot dog. All right, 2 more. This confirmant is 12 years old. Their favorite hobby is volleyball. Their dream job is to be a veterinarian. Their favorite color is purple. Their favorite snack is corn chips. And their fictional bestie is Anne Bunchi from Amphibia. I had to Google that. Is it Izzy? Raise your hand if you think it's Izzy. Thumbs up, Izzy. Thumbs down, not. Maybe unsure. Maybe. It is Izzy. All right, last one. Age 13. Birthday is June 19th. They have 5 siblings. Their favorite color is army green.
It's a Tilly. I know Tilly.
Their favorite snack is Oreos. And their fictional character, bestie. I'm gonna start doing some ASMR if you don't stop talking. Shh. Their fictional bestie is Cusco from The Emperor's New Groove. Brooklyn, do you have a guess? You think it's who?
I think it's Brooklyn.
You,
I think it's Brooklyn.
this is really complicated because you're guessing each other, so I don't know what to do.
It's Brooklyn.
It is Brooklyn Tilly. All right, really quick, the plan for tonight. While we are in here, we have 20 minutes. We have 20 minutes. We're gonna get through it all. Okay. The plan. We have a quick skit. We're going to talk about God's creation. We're going to open up the Bible. If you don't have your Bible, that's cool, because I told you you didn't have to bring them. But I'll get you a new one.
I lost mine last year.
Oh, fine, I'll get you a new one, Cody, no worries. And then we'll talk about the small catechism, and then we'll do a little quiz if we have time at the end. Groovy? Awesome. So, we're going to start off with our skit here. What do the stage directions say? All right, so while they're doing the skit, they don't have microphones, so you need to not talk for 30 seconds, okay? That's all you gotta do. We're not talking for a little bit.
Go Tilly.
Whenever you're ready to start, yep.
That really doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying, if you say the world is created by God, that's fine for you, I guess, but I just haven't seen my group. Whoa. What? This is really weird. What's weird? The chairs. They're on top of the table. Oh, okay. I'm sure someone just put them up there to clean in here or something. Yeah, but I don't see anyone around here. I think the chairs put themselves on top of the table. You're joking, right? No, I don't see anyone in the room. Do you? The only thing that makes sense is that these chairs put themselves on the tables. Think about it. Dude, you're tweaking. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't it? Seriously, you're clowning. Chairs don't magically move themselves onto tables. Someone has to put them there. Just because you can't see anyone here now doesn't mean the chairs put themselves on the table. It's simply logic. Oh, I see. So you're saying that if we look around and see structure and organization, someone has to be responsible, right? So things like, I don't know, the universe, things that are definitely structured like that. You're saying that things like that had to be structured by someone. Interesting. Dude, God is straight busted.
Woo! Man, that writing was amazing. I don't know who added some of those fun. Okay. All right. So we have the two characters. Straight bussin', bro. So which character? There are 3 questions up here. I want you to turn and talk. I'm going to give you 1 minute. You're going to talk. Which character did you most identify with? Okay. Did you identify most with Emma or Alex? And then why? And then beside the universe, right, what other amazing structured things help you believe that God is the creator of all things? How has humankind interacted positively and negatively with the created order? And when life is chaotic for you, how do you try to restore it? You can pick any of these questions. You can talk about all of them, but I'm going to give you 1 minute really quick. Turn and talk to somebody next to you about one of the questions. talking. I think some of us got some good discussions in. Meh, maybe not. All right, my first question for us. Which character do you most identify with and why? I want you to raise your hand if you most identified with Emma. I want you to raise your hand if you most identified with Emma's character.
I identified.
All right, hands up. Raise your hand if you most identified with Alex's character, who just thinks that God is straight bussin'. Okay, hands down. And raise your hand if you're kind of in the middle, do you think? I think I heard some people kind of more say, like, I think Alex's character was funny, but also, like, I think what Emma was saying, right? Emma, your character was kind of talking about having, like, faith, right? I mean, like, essentially, like,
I don't even know what the words were meaning to say.
it's cool. Everything's fine. Did we talk about any other questions?
No. We talked about
Dominic, what was one question you guys talked about? You what?
So the fact that the chairs, they obviously were put up by a person.
Somebody obviously did it right.
Or maybe not. Aliens are. Just like Alex
I
said.
get that joke now. Okay. Let's talk about that last one really quick. When life is chaotic for you, how do you try to restore order? When life is crazy, when your brother or sister is making you angry, when your parents are annoying you, what do you do? For some reason, the Tillies just rose their hand for that one. I don't know how I feel. Cody, what do you do to restore order? All right, so Cody goes outside when life is stressful. Dominic, what do you do when life gets stressful? You deal with it physically, like head on.
Yes.
Fist on, okay. Brooklyn,
I tend to deal with this a lot. Not exactly sure why,
I don't know why either, yeah.
but I tend to walk.
You walk away. When life is too much, you just walk away. That's a good strategy. Mickey. All right, so you find solitude in just kind of being, or you find a way to find solitude, right, being by yourself. All right, Jazzy, last one.
I am chaotic, so I kind of just deal with it because I just am chaotic.
You are chaos. Oh, yeah, for sure. All right. Super chill. Thanks for sharing. Oh, I'm going to run into that candle. Holy moly. All right. So our big question today is, what can I really do to make a difference for caring for creation? So I have a story for you guys. Okay. What's it about? I mean, maybe if it, no, it's not, sorry. I wish it were funny. So I want you to think really quick of a time that you have been close to nature, okay? Just think. Was that when you were outside? Were you camping? Were you in your backyard? Were you on a trip? Were you close to home? Okay, I just want you to think of that, okay? Personally, one time that I was in nature, my first real time I was in nature, which sounds kind of silly to say because like nature's all around us. But when I was in middle school, my parents sent me to a Bible camp, and I'm from Iowa, so I went to a Bible camp in Iowa. And it was like the first time that I had like been, like my life is pretty cushy. I'm an indoorsy person. I don't like sweating. I don't like bugs. I don't like dirt. I'm giving some dirty looks right now. That's just kind of my thing, right? I never played outside as a kid. That was not my thing. But I went to this Bible camp. And the whole week, we talked about God, because it's Bible camp, and we played games, and we sang songs about God. Now, when I came home, I distinctly remember I was inside, because it's me, and I was in my bedroom, and I saw a spider. And I hated spiders at that time in my life. I was like, no, they do not belong inside. This is my home. They can't be in here. And I'm serious, this was crazy. I was like, no, Allison, you can't kill this spider. Because you just learned that God made this spider, right? As much as I don't like it, as much as it is gross to me, right? It's God's creation. And I was like, right? That was the first time that all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, did I learn something? That's gross. I just wanted to kill it and smush it. But I was like, no, that's God's creation, right? Cody gets it, right, Cody? No, Cody hasn't gotten that yet. Cody hasn't had his awakening yet of what creation is, okay? But that was kind of a moment where I realized God had a purpose for the spider, maybe. Maybe God had a purpose for me. Does anybody want to share what was a time that they felt like they were in nature, that they were close to God's creation? Lauren.
When I was in nature, outside,
Do you want to be more specific?
I don't know, on a hiking trail somewhere.
Oh, on a hiking trail, okay.
So I went to the Sand Dunes National Park and I climbed up like one of the tallest sand mountains that they had with my siblings, and it was so awesome when you got to the top.
Yeah, right?
It was like mountains on one side and then desert.
Yeah. Stuff like that with like mountains and deserts and like forests and oceans and just like all of this like crazy beautiful stuff. I always just think somebody made this, right? Thinking back to the skit, I mean, somebody had to have put the chairs up. They didn't just get there, right? Oh, now I get it. It's so crazy. I see your hands and I'm so happy, but we're going to keep shuffling along, okay? I know, but you guys are going to go into small groups in a couple minutes here. So we're going to read a couple of excerpts really quick, which are just like chunks from the Bible. And we're reading about the creation story. So if you have a Bible, or if you want to grab a Bible in the pews, or if you have your Lutheran study Bible, okay? And this is an excerpt. This is not actually this is not a Bible verse. If you have the cool Lutheran study Bible, can I snag this?
Oh yeah.
If you have your cool Lutheran study Bible, if you don't have one, if you lost it, or if you think someone stole it, someone stole it, I know, it's so rude. I have extra copies if you need a new copy. What's up, Jazzy? Where is it? Oh, it's fine, no. So in your Lutheran Study Bible, the reason why it's called a study Bible is because it has additional things to it, right? It's not just straight cut the stories. It gives like, preface and like timelines and a lot of different stuff. So this is from page 48 in your Lutheran Study Bible. So if you have a Lutheran Study Bible, I'm going to ask that you turn to page 48 and maybe share or pass it along to some other people in your row, maybe who don't have one, so they can also look. So this reads on page 48. It says, Genesis is the first chapter of the Bible. Like the first chapter of any book, the placement of Genesis at the beginning is important for understanding both Genesis and the Bible as a whole. The Bible begins not with the chosen people from Israel, but with the entire creation. It provides the reader with a universal frame of reference. Through it, we can interpret everything that follows. God's purposes at work among the people of Israel and in Jesus Christ have to do with all of God's good creation. Okay? So when we're reading from Genesis today, I want us to be thinking of these things, that it all kind of ties together. Yes, it's a book on itself, but also it connects with a lot of the other things that we'll read later in the Bible. Oh, and then I have an excerpt here from Genesis 1:27. If you have a Bible, feel free to turn to this. Can I have a volunteer read me this quick verse here? If you want to read it off the screen, you can, but also if you want to read it from the Bible. Izzy?
So God created humankind in his image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them.
Awesome. So why do you think this is a key verse in the creation story? Turn and talk to your partner really quick. Why is this verse so important if we're thinking about creation? All right, why do we think this is a key verse in the creation story? Do we have any ideas? It literally talks about how human life started. Oh my gosh, yeah. And like I was just talking, like selfishly, it's about us, right? This specific verse is how everything changed, right? If we think about, on the first day God created light and darkness and it was good, right? If we go through the Bible stories of the days, right? We are the last things to kind of come onto the earth, and that was really, how things changed for us. If you have a Lutheran Study Bible, I want you to turn to page 50. 50. If you have a Lutheran Study Bible, turn to page 50. Can I have someone read the question on the left there? Can someone read that question for me on the left? Ooh, what do Lutherans believe about evolution? Really quick, turn to talk to your partner. What is evolution? All right. Who can give me really quick, in 5 seconds or less? What is evolution? Cody, you got it in 5 seconds or less. Go. The history of something. Evolution is how things came to be, right? And on page 50, hold on really quick, Emma. On page 50, it talks a little bit what we as Lutherans, right? We as Christians, but specifically Lutherans, believe about evolution, okay? Emma, do you have a question? Yes, what's your question? Hold on. Can I read this first and then maybe I'll answer your question? Okay. So, worldwide, this is more than just us in Wisconsin, this is more than the Midwest, this is more than the United States. Worldwide, okay, there is diversity among Lutherans regarding the interpretation of the days of creation in Genesis 1. The Lutheran confessions do not mandate the belief that God created the world in 6 24-hour days. This is where I'm breaking it to you. I am sorry if you thought that God created the universe in nice little happy pieces, exactly like how we have our 24-hour days, right? We as Lutherans believe that is not the case, okay? Many Lutherans understand that science helps us understand how God created the heavens and the earth. Whatever the case, all Lutherans are united in the confession that God created it all, right? God is a big entity, right? We don't have to know an answer necessarily, okay? If Cody's sad about it, maybe Cody's like, man, I really wanted to know how God did it. Maybe someday, Cody, you can figure that out, right? But we don't have the answers, right? We are not with God presently asking, hey, God, how did you do this? We as Christians, we as Lutherans believe that there had to be some kind of, science has to be accurate to a little bit, right? That's a great question. What do you think? You don't know, right? I think the whole thing, personally, this is like where my personal beliefs are. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. Pastor Paul doesn't have all the answers. Beth doesn't have all the answers. Jameson definitely doesn't have all the answers, right? Teasing. Right? We don't have all the answers. I cannot explain how that happened. I can maybe say what I think, but also we could dance around in circles trying to figure out how God did things. So, we're going to read a little bit from the Apostles' Creed. Do you guys know, when do we do the Apostles' Creed during the church service? Do we know when it kind of happens? In between 10:45 and 11:45. That is accurate, yeah. If you come to the 10:45 service, exactly true. Kind of towards the end, right? And do we know what the Apostles' Creed does? What a creed is? Not a prophecy. We're just going to read the first article. So the Apostles' Creed is broken up into like 3 chunks. And we're going to look at just the first part of it, okay? So on the count of 3, we're going to read the part that says, I believe. Just that one sentence, okay? If you have your small catechism, it's in there too. Okay? On the count of 3, we are all going to read the I believe, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. I want you to turn and talk to somebody next to you. Create a list of all things mentioned that God provides as the creator. What are some things that God creates? question. Did God create animals? Yeah, I mean, in the creation story, right, if we think back to Sunday school days, we know that God creates animals, right? What's something else that God creates? Animals. What's another thing, Dominic? Literally everything? Can we get something specific? Ooh, God creates us in God's image. I love it. Izzy, what's something else? All of humanity. That sounds like a lot.
Day and night.
Day and night. Trees. Clouds. Your game console. God absolutely created your game console. Maybe not like physically putting it, but somebody put it together. Somebody invented it. God works through us. God invented Takis. God invented the Wisconsin Badgers. Maybe God invented Fortnite. I don't know about that one.
You created Fortnite.
All right. I believe that Cody has a good one, and I can't wait for you to share it with each other. All right. We are shuffling ahead. All right. Really quick, the creation story of Genesis tells us who we are, where we came from, more than the new food pyramid does. That God is the same as the creation, or that creation was a one-time event that took 7 days. What do we think? A, B, C, or D? Ooh, here really quick. Do you guys want to learn some sign language? A, B, C, D. Show me in your hand. A, B, C, D. Or we're doing the YMCA. That's cool. Right? We believe that God created all of us, right? Tells us where we come from. We're going to shuffle ahead because we got to get going. I'm sorry. Wow, hey, who guessed that? That's so crazy. That's wild. Why is this not working today? C, good job. Hey, 8th graders, shuffle on in quietly. That we are made in God's image. That means God must be really good looking. We were created to please God and do God's work. God uses a makeover. We have the same powers as God. B, duh. True or false? God rested in the middle of the work or creation week. It was just too much. False, silly goose. Oh my goodness gracious. True or false? The day of rest is called the Sabbath. True. Duh, Brooklyn knew that one. Last one. God saw everything and made it, or that was made, and it was just so-so. False. God saw that everything was very good. Everything was good. All right. 7th and 8th graders, last thing, okay? 7th and 8th graders, if you want to volunteer, because I know you have to do 10 hours of service at the church, okay? 10 hours. And that is throughout the entire school year, so you have so much time. Here are some opportunities if you are a 7th or 8th grader that you could track in your confirmation folder. You could, and if you have your phone, you can scan my QR code and you could sign up right now. But I know that you probably won't, and that's okay. You could organize the activity bags in the back of the sanctuary. If you want to do that, talk to me. If you want to be a library assistant and put away books in our church library, talk to me. If you want to be a nursery attendant, that's an option. You could do children's sermons with a friend if you want. You could Acolyte, you could be a lay reader, you could do the soundboard, or you could live stream. Jazz, you got a question? When do you do what? So if you come on a Sunday ever, and this is a really great question, if you ever come on a Sunday, if you know that you have to do these hours, Sundays are the easiest time to come because you don't have school.
Like after church.
Yeah, like literally after church. Okay. Cool. Middle school madness. I have 3 spots left. So if you want to go, you gotta tell me. Cool. 7th and 8th graders, you can head to your classrooms. I'll see you at 7:25. That way I can give you a couple extra minutes. 7:25. Yes, you are signed up. You know what? Here's what I'll have to do. All I do is these first 3 rows on this side right here. So come over to this. But if you are a all of you guys come over here. I'm sorry. My clicker hasn't been working that well. Bro, what's up? You have a question? What's up? That is what I maybe said to somebody.
Can make an exception.
Nope. All right. Just like scooch, you know? Stop it. It's like not a big deal, Audra, get over it. It's like not even a big deal. All right. Thank you guys for coming tonight. Really quick, I want to say I want to apologize if I don't know your name. I'm really sorry. There's a lot of you. I know. What? The audacity. A name game where I have to memorize all of your names right this very second. Wow, what a great use of time. Love the idea. Keep it up. Todd. That's Todd? Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. This is awkward. That's Calvin? Like Calvin and Hobbes. Okay. Cool. So, with your guys' small groups, can you tell me really quick, what did we do in small groups today? Max, you can tell me one thing? What theology is. And what is theology? Right, the study of beliefs in religion. What else did you talk about?
The cross.
The cross! Oh my gosh, you were so excited for that, right? We talked about the cross and glory. Personally, I think this is a really cool topic. But also, oopsies, that's awkward. Don't watch that, because I made a mistake. LOL. If you guys do the name that compliment, that'll be there, but I didn't. So the plan. Real quick skit for 2 very brave volunteers. Awesome, there we go. We'll talk a little bit deeper about what the theology of the cross is. We'll look at some fun songs, some music, if we have time. We'll talk about some cartoons and making a connection, and then we'll do a quiz show at the end if we have time. Bro, you already volunteered. You don't get to just back out. All right, so a skit. If you're doing a skit, can you come up? Yeah, that's the thing. All right, and perfect. So we got Tanner and Max. You're gonna stand right here. Just make sure that they can see this. A theologian. What's a theologian, do we think? You can trust me on this one. A theologian studies what, probably? Probably studies theology. Religion. Oof. God. Always the right answer. Love it, Sam. Sam, right? Rock on. All right, so we have Max is the theologian of glory, and Tanner is our theologian of the cross. And they're going to do some actions and read for us. What?
God loves me. I love God. God's love is perfectly. I have God's love so well. God forgives my sins. If I ask for forgiveness, God will forgive me. God cares for me. If I pray about this now, then God will do something about it. God created me. Through hard work and discipline, I have become a good follower of God. God knows everything about me. I
and it just keeps going and going. Love it. So, we had two people here, right? Max is our theologian of glory. Tanner, what were you the theologian of? What was your role? Theologian of the cross, right? So what differences did we notice between Max and Tanner? What were the differences that we noticed between Max and Tanner? Turn and talk to somebody next to you. What did you notice the differences between Max and Tanner during the skit? So something I just heard, right? Someone shared that Max, right? Max was talking a lot, they used the word I a lot, right? I did this, and I found God. Tanner, did you use the word I a lot when you were talking up here? Probably not. That's okay. You used the word you or God, right? God found me, right? Guys, I'm a really good dancer, you don't even know. Right, but in this, right, Tanner was using a lot of the God found me, God chose me language. Can you guys put your phone away, please? Are you not on phones? Oh, okay, that's weird. I don't believe in phones either. Also, I've never had one. Cool. What is the difference between the pronouns that Max used and the ones that Tanner used? Because Max used what word a lot? I. Tanner also used a different word though. What word did Tanner use? Tanner used God a lot more, right? So when we're talking about what we believe as Christians, the way that the theologian of glory was talking about themselves in religion, whereas the theologian of the cross was more about God-centered, right? Maybe. Okay. Okay, so I have a bunch of phrases. On these phrases on the screen, I want you to think, where have you heard these before? Have we heard of any of these phrases before? You've heard of maybe some of these before, right? You want to know a fun fact I had when planning this? None of these phrases are actually in the Bible. None of them are in the Bible. They're like just motivational, or people just say them to make you feel better, right? God will not give you more than you can handle. So if we think about that phrase, I should speak up. Audrey, you've been using these on your Instagram? Put them on your Be Reel. Could you do that? Is that how that works? On your Fortnite status, right? Okay, so I want us to think. The phrase, God will not give you more than you can handle. Is that more theologian of the cross, right? More God-centered, or more theologian of the glory? More me-centered? God. Turn and talk to somebody next to you. What do you think and why? God will not give you more than you can handle. Or you could change you with me. Or if it's more in the middle. Small town driver wave. All right, what do we think? Is that phrase, God will not give you more than you can handle, or God won't give me more than I can handle? Is that more God-centered or us-centered, do we think? Why do we think it's more God-centered?
It doesn't say I.
It doesn't use I. I mean, it says you or me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tanner, you're getting a pumpkin spice latte after this? That's awesome. Love that for you. All right, let's just keep moving. I'm sorry, oh my gosh. It's a birthmark. Or you were straightening your hair. I get it. All right. Can I have a volunteer, really quick, read this Bible verse for us? Matthew, is that your name, Matthew? Matthew's going to read this for us in a big voice, but that means you can't be talking.
Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit that is from God, so that we may understand the gifts bestowed on us by God. And we speak of these things in words not taught by human wisdom, but taught by the Spirit, interpreting spiritual things to do those who are spiritual.
Cool. So that's from 1 Corinthians. When we look at this Bible verse, right? You're good? It's cool. We think of these things not in words taught by human wisdom, but taught by the Spirit. Who are your teachers at school? We have Miss Carlson. Who else do we have as teachers? Miss Whipkey? She's okay, I hear. Mr. Hackled? Boss? Bosch. Okay. Awesome. So with your teachers at school, or with your dance teachers, or your coaches,
I like doing Drop your pen. Sharpie.
hey, how are we feeling tonight? We're tired. That's okay. I get it. Talkative. It is what it is. It's cool. Do you guys want to say, let's take a break from this really quick?
What?
Do you guys want to take a break really quick? Let's take a break. Here's what we're going to do. You can leave your things in here, and we're going out into the narthex there, and we're going to stand in a circle. Okay? We're going to take a quick break. We're going to go stand in the narthex in a circle. Bring nothing with you.